What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number one, you can never have sex.
It's me.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
Get another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
He didn't make the rules.
Police are always on track. They watch prom night at the same time.
He just kills by them. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide.
Everybody's a suspect!
You're not scared, are you?
Scream.
And we're back. Sorry, this is a whole new episode. I'm talking like this is like a two-parter or whatever. Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Ava Robinson.
And today is, well, for those of you who watched our Halloween episode, you obviously noticed that this is, 5 minutes later. We're recording this back to back with Scream and Halloween. And it's a perfect double bill, really. No other film, I think, pairs better, really, when it comes to... I don't even know where to start. Scream, because Scream 2022, at the time of recording, came out like last month. And no, it came out in January. Anyway, so I've been watching the Scream movies multiple times each and writing about them and getting so invested in the whole world. It feels weird to just go back to the simple world of just Casey and just Billy and Stu. In a good way. Yeah, yes, no, because Sydney's always that. What do you mean? Wait a minute. Have you watched Scream 22 yet?
Nope.
Oh, what is?
I watched Jackass forever instead.
Jackass and Scream was an incredible couple of weeks in my life. That was just a great time to be alive. Scream. Where does your relationship with Scream start?
I have the original trilogy box set.
Mm-hmm.
It was like special collectors that I'm pretty sure. I do think it was an extension I spoke about in the Halloween episode about my introduction to Halloween. It stemmed from my brother having the Friday the 13th box set. So I honestly do think it was an extension of that, becoming aware of it by association. And then I think my mum maybe bought the Scream 1, 2, 3 box set at like a charity shop.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, would have watched it at the same time, kind of 13 maybe.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
And that was it.
Yeah, I don't know when my first. I think it was just like most of my life, just getting into movies and just ticking things off. And I just bought the DVD. I think this is a case. No, I know exactly what it was. I think Scream 4 was coming out and they showed all 3 movies on ITV or something. And so I literally watched one a week. So and before, again, we're going to do our same rule we did with Halloween and just completely ignored. You've seen Scream 2.
Yeah.
And you have your problems with it. And so you don't watch it.
No.
Have you seen Scream 3, 4?
No.
Okay. That's the end of my. No further questions, Your Honor. I obviously love Scream 2 absolutely so much and really enjoy parts of Scream 3 and 4 and really loved Scream 2022. But anyway, Scream. Yeah, I think it was just one of those things where I was just in straight away. How can you not be in? And watching it again yesterday, even though I'd watched it because of the release of the new one and watching it because basically I watched it on my own, getting ready. And then I ended up watching it with the people that we were going to go to Scream 2022 with because they'd never seen anything. It's like, what? And so this is the third time I'm watching this original film in the space of 3 months, which I know is nothing new for you. I know that that's the sort of regular activity you do with most films that you enjoy. Honestly, I know this sounds blasphemous. Casey opening scene and first like 5 minutes with Sydney, I was like, oh, okay. I'm watching this again. I was like going through the motions, watching it again. And it's not that the Casey scene isn't the greatest opening of the past 20 years in film. I'm going to say it. I'm saying that without thinking at all. It's in the top 10. I'll say that.
Okay.
Last 20 years in the top 10. It's not from the last 20 years, is it? Oh no, it is. No. 25 years.
26. 25.
25. Yeah, because this is the 25th anniversary. Yeah.
No. Yeah, 20. Wait, what was it? 96.
It was supposed to be 25th anniversary last year, but it got bumped for COVID. Yeah. Still, and then, but the minute that it started ratcheting, you're so in straight away.
Yeah.
You're just so in. Unbelievable, really. I don't even know what to say. I feel I don't know what. This is going to be a terrible show. No. I have loads of notes, and we'll obviously start talking.
We're just going to sit here and just be like.
I love Scream so much, and I love Scream 2 more. I'm sorry, Ava. I'm sorry. I know. And this isn't a Casino situation where I always used to say Casino was my favorite of between Goodfellas, and then I watched Goodfellas like 3 times. Again, 3 times in the space of 3 months, and I was like, I'm a stupid boy. I do still love Casino. I do still love Casino so much. You need to get on the Casino train. I'm sorry.
No, never.
Stop bullying her. Leave her alone. You need to get on the Casino train.
No.
Oh my God, Ava. You watched Casino fucking on your TV. With me, I know, and somebody else over Zooms, over Messenger, and we had to keep fucking pausing every 5 minutes to try and sync up again. And the whole time you were just like, this isn't Goodfellas. You were like a child eating vegetables. You were like, no, I want my fish.
Vegetables.
Okay.
I was that kid.
I want you to watch Scream 2 again. I know you're never going to. You're not going to. I know.
Just Courtney Cox's hair and.
Oh, it's nowhere near as bad as Scream 3. Have you seen her hair in Scream 3?
I know. But because I'm watching it, and I just would rather be watching the original.
I know.
Literally.
I know. This is your thing with most movies. But Muppets Most Wanted was a case where now you only want to watch Muppets Most Wanted.
But the Muppets still scare me.
No, I know. But you loved the Muppets.
Yes. And then I didn't watch Muppets Most Wanted when it came out in 2014, I believe. I didn't see it. So it was just on TV one day. And I was like, it was because it was new. So I was like, oh, I'm invested. And then as soon as I saw Ray and Danny and Tina, I was like, yes.
In the big house. Anyway, we can't do a Muppets tangent in this show.
But I'm not saying I am solely preferent of the originals. Toy Story 2. Probably my favorite sequel of all time.
No, Addams Family Values.
Ooh, okay.
But that doesn't count. I know what you're saying. It probably is your favorite sequel, but it doesn't count at all because the film The Addams Family does not exist in your mind at all, whereas Toy Story does.
Yes, but I'm saying it's not as if, because obviously if people watch this and Halloween, they might be like, oh, Ava just doesn't like sequels. No, I fucking love sequels. Need I say Return of the Jedi? Saying that I'm even more I can go further away from the original source material and still think it's better and enjoy it far more as a movie. But it's just in this example of Scream 2. And yes, I am open to rewatching it. But
you need to watch Scream 2022. That was really good.
I'm fully there for that. Yes, I watched that.
And I'm not going to tell you why, but you need to watch Scream 2022.
Okay. But with Scream 2, from what I remember, I think I'm just a sucker for nostalgia. And yes, I'm a sucker for Billy Loomis. But I don't like change.
But Scream 2 has so much nostalgia. Like the first 30 minutes.
But anytime. University now.
No, because they're like meeting each other, and Sydney and Gail meet each other, and you're like, oh, is Sydney and Gail and Dewey?
For me, it doesn't have any heart that the first one does. I think it's so, and it's because time's moved on. I appreciate that, but it just doesn't encapsulate that time and place and the setting of the first one. And it's because it's in a new setting. They're at university, they've moved on with their lives, but then also it's not 90s anymore, like, or it doesn't have the youth about it. And then just it's all theatric, and then it's they're over it, and Sydney's like, when she gets the first prank call and she's like, you do aware like prank calls are illegal and I'm recording this call, and it's just, who gives a shit?
How are you not in on Sydney becoming the lead of a Greek play, becoming you? How are you not in on the character of Sydney? Because you love Sydney, I love Sydney, but you're like absolute loving of Sydney. Do you see yourself in Sydney, or is it just is it a stand back love? You just love the character so much? Because if you see yourself in Sydney, I don't know how you cannot love Scream 2 more when she becomes an actress. Sorry, leading role actress. You are the woman that scoffed at your teacher and director when he said to you, "Do you know Shakespeare?"
Yes. But
it's not for everyone. I know Scream 2 is not for everyone, but what is for everyone? Actually, that's untrue. It's not for Scream isn't for anyone either. But
there's just something so perfect about Scream, and
yes,
and I think maybe it is just I'm doomed. Maybe because I'm so encapsulated by the perfection of Scream, any sequel that isn't that, I'm just going to be like, ugh. I'm not saying it's not a good movie or it doesn't have fresh new things that are exciting about it and doesn't make it enjoyable and still valid. But to me, when something is so perfect, anything else will just fall short, because I'm so used to seeing the character of Sydney, the character of Gail, all of that within the confines of that first movie, and it's anything else, I'm like, ugh. I'm like the hitchhiker. No.
I think of the 4 big franchises, Scream's the best one. It now has 5 good movies. There's not a bad movie in the book. There are lesser ones. The final 40 minutes of Scream 3 are terrible. Maybe not terrible, very bad.
Okay.
But there's not a bad one. It has the...
Okay.
Go on.
Here's something, maybe this would come, it wouldn't be here's the change, but while I'm thinking about it, does it matter? It doesn't fall short for me. It doesn't matter to me. It might matter to some people. You might be fine with it. Does an aspect of where it falls short in comparison to other franchises is the ever-changing villain, killer. The identity is not fixed.
I think that...
Does that make it lesser or better or have no effect on it?
I think that's a problem now with all whodunits and all mysteries. Is that your second watch will never be as good. No, sorry, your third watch will never be as good. Your second watch is always boosted by the joy of, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, wow. Don't know what that impression was. But your third watch and onwards are often always hindered. And so
But don't. Okay. The biggest thing about Scream 2, fucking Billy's like psycho mother. I did it for my boy.
Stop mocking Laurie Metcalf. Stop mocking Laurie Metcalf. She's great. Mrs. Loomis?
Like, what the fuck is that, man? And
That's
wait,
good.
who's the other killer? Timothy
Oliphant. He's great.
Whenever
It's
I
all
see
about the
what's going on in
trial.
Hollywood, I'm like, oh, he's that lesser Billy Loomis from that movie that I hate.
Oh, the Three Georges. Oh, yeah, Papard and Shigaris and yeah.
So I can only speak, yes, to reiterate, I've only seen Scream 1 and Scream 2, not 3, 4, or 5. So I do not know any of the killers are. So don't spoil that for me. Or the only one I'm going to watch is Scream 22. But I think, well, no, because this is the type of movie, as you say, is a whodunit. So by nature, the identity of it has to be concealed. And then, they made the decision. Well, obviously, because both Billy and Stu die at the end of Scream, so there was no chance of them coming back for one last scare. So naturally, as soon as they decided a sequel was going to be made, there had to be like, right, it has to be a new killer under the mask.
And also, it can't. Also, I don't want to. Again, this is for the Scream 2 episode. There was a script leak, and so like immediately they had to change it. So originally it was somebody. I think Cotton was supposed to be Liev Schreiber, because Liev Schreiber. I love Liev Schreiber.
He stressed me out. I'm like, dude,
Sydney,
chill.
please, Sydney. I want to be on TV. I know. I big Liev Schreiber fan. You've never done the Quizathon, have you?
No.
It's the end of that conversation. Scream. Written by Kevin Williamson, absolute adoree, lover of Halloween and many Halloween things, and horror movies. And then directed by Wes Craven, who obviously famously, I think the big tweet that went around when he died was Wes Craven reinvented the horror genre 3 different times. Hills of Ice, this,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
and Nightmare on Elm Street. And
Did you call me? Not you, Fred. Oh, the Fonz.
we'll talk about Winkler. I love Winkler in this. Your whole thieving, whoring generation. That's not fair. No, fair would be ripping your guts out.
that is your ideal.
Oh yeah, that's my role. That's my role of a lifetime. I come to like Halloween, Halloween fancy dress, and you're like, wait, what's that suit? What are you like? Are you like James Bond? No, I'm Mr. Himbry. Sorry, say that again. I'm Mr. Himbry. Sorry, who's Mr. Himbry? From Scream. Sydney's dad. No, that's Neil Prescott. Sorry, I don't know who Mr. Himbry is. Come on, the Fonz. So you're the Fonz? No, I'm Mr. Himbry. This could go on forever, I'm sorry.
I know.
I love Winkler. We'll talk about Winkler in a moment. There were other movies that did it little bits before, but this is the first out and out horror film where they know about horror films. It's still fresh, it's still exciting, it's still perfect to this day. I cannot even imagine what it was like in 1996. Because now every single fucking thing is meta and every single thing is fourth wall breaking to such a detriment, I think, nowadays. I think everything is so winking that we lack sincerity so much. And this film, as much as they know things and they say things, it is still an out and out great horror film. I talked about this in my article, is that you are setting yourself up for such a disaster if this film isn't perfect. The minute you say in your first 10 minutes, the minute you remind us of Halloween, the minute later in the film, you just play Halloween.
I know.
You are like, yeah, come on. Yeah, we know how good Halloween is. Yeah, but we've got the goods. We've got the goods. You need to immediately give us one of the best extended horror sequences of all time, which they of course do, with Drew Barrymore as Casey Becker. Let's just start there. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's talk about Casey. Let's talk about Drew. So obviously very well known. She was considered for the role of Sydney's scheduling sort of things and all that sort of thing. She said, no, I want to play this role. They're aping the Psycho formula of killing the character off in 35 minutes in. However,
yeah, the most famous name in the first 10 minutes.
She was all over the posters. She was in the trailers.
And then they kill her.
And then they kill her, and it's brilliant. I don't think it really can be underestimated. If I was doing my Thomas Carruthers Awards 2022 of 1996, I would have undoubtedly given my Best Supporting Actress to Drew Barrymore. I think she's absolutely sensational. I love her in many other things, but this is undoubtedly the best performance of her career, and it's only 10 minutes long. What's your relationship with Drew Barrymore?
It's complicated. I would say this is probably the film I've watched the most, with the exception of the original, the first Charlie's Angels.
I thought you were going to say E.T.
Not E.T. No, I'd say Scream, then Charlie's Angels, then E.T. And then obviously I know she did a decent amount of 2000s rom-coms. Never seen The Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah, love The Wedding Singer.
Never seen Music and Lyrics with
Hugh
Grant.
With Hugh Grant. Yeah, not the same ball film.
No,
but Wedding Singer is excellent.
Didn't like Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, but I think I adore the first Charlie's Angels. Great.
You've recommended that to me multiple times, and I should watch it.
Come on, it's Cameron D. It's Sam Rockwell. It's Bill fucking Murray.
It's Lucy Liu. I will get around to it.
What's Crispin Glover?
What about, was that the last episode? No, the last episode we recorded was There's Something About Mary. That's it. Will, Ava, you are only allowed now from this point on, seeing as you ignored us when you did the Meryl Streep episode, your punishment and your curse for life now is that you are only allowed on episodes starring W. Earl Brown. There's Something About Mary. This, what other ones can you come on? Oh, you can do Black Mass as an episode.
Black Mass?
Yeah.
I love Black Mass.
Oh, of course you do. I think I knew this, didn't I? It is weird that. Yeah, sorry. My name's not Jesus. We'll talk about Kenny soon. Do you remember when I had no idea that they were the same person?
Yes.
Great stuff.
Right.
What do you want to talk about with Casey Becker? Because I know I've heard you speak so praisingly about this before. Not that I won't speak praisingly, but I just want to give you the floor.
I don't really have anything to say.
It's just, I know it's very boring podcasting, but it is absolute perfection, iconic perfection. The ticking time bomb of the popcorn.
It's what it is.
Yeah. When are you doing The Irishman?
Oh God. when I was going to sleep last night, I thought, I'm due for an Irishman watch. It's been 4 days.
I love The Irishman.
But I think it is the sequence of it. I'm literally not speechless, but because then when I think, I'll dissect it and talk about, but it doesn't need explaining to someone that has seen it, and someone that hasn't seen it, fucking watch it.
It's fun to begin with. Well, not fun at all. But it's when the questions, you're doing it in your head. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's like underwater scenes. I don't know about you, but anytime somebody is struggling to breathe underwater in a film, I immediately hold my breath to see how long I can go for. And
I do that in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End when the ship shits. and I can hold my breath for as long as them. So
And the minute that you're asked questions, sorry, like, you know, who was the killer in Friday the 13th, blah, 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 you're immediately doing it yourself. Now, I'm a weirdo, so I knew it was
You'd
Pamela.
be the one asking questions. You are a quizmaster.
It'd be like, and then I just wouldn't kill them. It'd be like, nice call.
Thanks for talking. No, I agree. And now that I look back to it, and maybe it's because I didn't have time to rewatch it before this call, but the first, because I want to know who I'm looking at. What? I want to know who I'm talking to. That's not what you said. What do you think I said? That snap is flawless, and
it wouldn't be,
I think,
Steve, would it?
I think that the voice.
Yes, let's talk about this.
Good,
Roger Jackson is as much an MVP, maybe not as much as. No, I'm going to say it. Roger Jackson is as much an MVP in this first scene as Drew Barrymore, and in the whole series as Sidney Galen Dewey. I love. So originally he was just supposed to be the placeholder, and they were going to get an even scarier voice, or maybe perhaps a more famous voice or something else. But then they were like, oh no, this guy's absolutely perfect. And the way he describes it is he wanted it to be kind of sexy, but dark and could change on a dime. Oh, I literally the delivery that I have in my head the whole time. I liked that movie. It was scary. I just thought the inflections are perfect.
I know.
Popcorn.
You're making popcorn? Yeah. And Drew hadn't heard the voice before they shot the scene.
Wonderful stuff.
I think, and then just the pace and the intensity. It does build. It has a build, but once you enter that, you know, when she runs to the door, locks it, and then it's just in that intensity for the next until the end of the scene.
But again, so ballsy. Again, you're setting yourself up for failure, because half of the movies in the world are not going to be able to top this scene. And yet it does. Well, maybe it doesn't top it, but the final 40, I say the final 40 minutes do top it. But that's just the nature of the film and the climax and the building and all that sort of thing, and the tension and the performances and the writing, blah, 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 blah. But you are setting yourself up for a fall. If you're going to do something this incredible, it's like Psycho. Psycho never really gets, I like the rest of Psycho, but it never really gets as good as the shower scene or the first half hour. Or the first Michael. Still got Halloween on the brain. But the first, we all go a little mad sometimes, which of course we will talk about soon with your boy.
My fave, my heart.
Other 10-minute stretches. Sydney's first attack.
Yeah.
It's insulting. Another delivery that I have in my head at all times. Billy's fake out. Which follows Sydney's first attack, but like the fake out of Billy and heading to the police station. Oh my God, heading to the police station after that. It wasn't me. Do you think it's a good performance, or are you just incredibly attracted to Skeet Ulrich doing Johnny Depp, another one of your big crushes? Okay, I'm going to change my question. Do you think it's a knowing performance? Because he is obviously doing the Johnny Depp 80s thing.
Yes.
And it's intentional in the script, and it's intentional in Craven's direction.
But Billy has to be that. Billy has to be that. He can't be any other archetype, whether it's nice guy, chummy friend, that's Randy, or whether it's, goofball Stu. Like, he has to be the sexy, because with that comes the danger. And when it's like, oh, it looks like you pegged the wrong guy or whatever, you have to doubt that, which yes, it's been a very long time since I first watched it, so yes, I'm always watching it, and but any darkness within him, that first time you watch it, you do not know. You have to make a bet whether that's just part of him, that's part of his sex appeal as her boyfriend, or whether that's actually like a fucking massive red flag because he is a psycho killer.
Yeah.
So, and you find out that that's the truth. But that's for me. You have to have that darkness, which for me I just find sexy. But yeah, yes. But then when I think back to Johnny, Oh, Johnny. But oddly, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street, Not Before Christmas, but he was not, because that was his first major film, other than, you know, being on 21 Jump Street. And when I watched that, he was not that brooding, sexy, pouty, you know, early 90s Johnny Depp. He was still innocent teenage, and he was kind of he wasn't simple, but he was, you know, he didn't have that much screen time. And obviously, you know, so even though Johnny Depp being 80s heartthrob Johnny Depp in a horror movie as eye candy was not, I think that Skeet's Billy is more developed than that. But yes, of course, you look at him and you're like, oh, Johnny Depp.
So do I. I think it's quite a conniving performance that, once we know the truth, colours every scene quite differently. Like, what's his end game? He wants to take Sydney's virginity as one final fuck you. Is that why he's so desperate for that sex, or is it just another element? Does he see another element of his game in that? Because it is a huge focus for him when technically he should be more focused on killing and all that sort of thing.
But you know, he's just a teenage boy.
Well, we're going to talk about his dealing with sex in What's the Change. But anyway, more 10 minutes. Oh yeah, anyway, 10 minutes.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay. Well, no, maybe you don't agree. I know you don't agree because you're like, oh yeah. But there are a couple of lines that I'm just like, what the hell is this guy on? Anyway, more 10-minute stretches. We'll get there. Video store. Randy. Randy walks a fine line for me, I have to say.
Yes.
I think this film he rides that line fine. There are a couple of moments in Scream 2 where he's quite insufferable. Like, randomly, he just starts doing a Mick Jagger impression. And it's just like, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, okay. Oh, 10-minute stretch. Oh. This 10-minute stretch is for Charlie. Red right hand, curfew. Not good?
You know who you're doing an impression of.
Yes, I do. One of our teachers sounds exactly like Mick Jagger, and you were adamant that he didn't, and I was like, what are you talking about? He sounds exactly like him. Does exactly the same mannerisms. Video store. I think the video store is the best Randy scene, undoubtedly.
What, more than Certain Rules?
Oh, sorry, I'm so stupid. The most stupid man in the world. No, it's definitely The Rules in Single Minute, sorry. But I enjoy the video store, especially when he gets getting like tag teamed by Stu and Billy. And, like, tickling the ear and all that sort of thing.
I know. But does Matthew Lillard not walk a line for you as Stu?
No.
Being
No, I love. Oh, okay. No, I
Like-
think Stu is great all the way, and I think he's so wacky and brilliant. It's great.
You
But-
love a wacky guy.
Yeah. Why have subtlety when that's my acting book? That's what it's called. Why? Who needs subtlety? So you think that Matthew Lillard's performance is closer to bad than Randy's? Less bad, more over the top and annoying.
No, because I guess I can say he's committed.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't bother me, honestly. Like, nor on the first watch or nor on my millionth rewatch have I been like, ugh, like cringed by it or anything, because I know what to expect. But I think that because obviously, yeah, when it comes to the final reveal and that whole conversation where they admit everything, and you know, he's so far gone into the psycho that, you know, and he ad-libbed, you know, these days you got to have a sequel, like all of that, and by that point it's just so expecting of it. But I think I guess it doesn't bother me because I've known wacky guys. But I think with Randy's more of like a. I think Randy rubs me more the wrong way than Stu does.
Yeah, me too. I think it's because I'm a movie guy. And it's like, and I don't see myself like, oh my God, finally, a guy like me on screen. I see, oh, this is why people hate me, because of fucking like Randy. And it's like,
you're the worst mix of Randy and Stu.
that is the most insulting thing you've ever said. No, if anything, I've got a bit of Dewey in there, maybe?
Yes, you are Randy and Stu wrapped up in Dewey.
And a bit of Doofy.
We're going to talk about Doofy.
Yes, I know you want to talk about Doofy. The sequel to We Need to Talk About Kevin. Very different movie. Right. I'm going to just say here, curfew sequence. I am not going to talk about my biggest, you know how big I feel about. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. I finally get a goddamn microphone. Now I sound like people mocking Joe Rogan when he's like, white guys can't talk anymore. That's going to be me, but not for racist opinions. My opinion about Red Right Hand. You know, people can't say racist things anymore. Like, what the fuck, man? But it's going to be me with Red Right Hand. And then the killer reveal and the whole final house section. And it's just absolutely brilliant. It got to a point where like almost every single line they were saying in the killer reveal was going to be a specific favorite moment. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm just writing out the script. Because almost every line now has become a bit like Halloween. Like every, like speed kills should be an iconic line, but it's like every single line has become iconic. Which is, of course, the legacy that I think they felt. Which is the legacy, of course, they could have only have dreamed of when they were just making this very revolutionary film and powerful film. But just this film commenting on Halloween and all that, and all those films like it. But sorry, but they could only dream that their film would be just as iconic as Halloween nowadays. What's next? 10-minute stretches, Ava. Any nominations?
No, you covered all of them. I said the opening. And yeah, I do like, this is not really more general, maybe more specific. But the whole curfew thing, but then I enjoy, and again, we talked about it in the Halloween convo, but the anticipation when they leave school, walking home, like going to the grocery store, getting stuff, just that simplicity and that normality when you know it is precursoring this massive thing that's about to happen. And when Sydney and Tatum are sat on the porch and talking about her mother and whether the rumors were true and all of that, let alone the fact you see Ghostface hiding in the bush, but that's precursor I just love. And they're fucking playing, what are they playing on the speakers?
School's Out.
Is that the best use of School's Out? No, we know what the best use is,
but very good, but it will never come close. But that is what I'm talking about. So that is another thing that I love, the normality preceding something very abnormal and big and climactic. And yeah, so yeah, not the best 10-minute stretch, but an area of the film that might be overlooked because it's it's a transition, it's the precursor to the climax, the final scene, blah blah blah, or the final setting, I should say. But I still enjoy it for those reasons. And obviously the party, because obviously you have the first bits, when you get there and, just general party shenanigans, and then you have Tatum's death, you have, Dewey and Gale going off, and then before the final, I think I only really I prefer once we are in that final sequence, once all the guests have left, and then it's the final big chase and until the end of the movie. I think that the first half of the party at Stu's house is kind of like Yeah, again, it's the build up of it all, isn't it? It's the joyous build up. What's next? Tom's Wheeler's specific favorite part of the film. I'm just going to rally them off. Horrible, but the Casey's voice breaking, the vocal cords being like broken, so she's just like very horrifying. But I love, and I think it's quite an underrated moment actually, Casey taking off the mask. And we can see that she recognizes who it is. And when you talk about murder mystery and stuff, what a perfect setup for the rest of the film. And you kind of sleep on it when you first watch it. The Mackenzies, not a very subtle reference, but well, I guess not a very subtle reference for Halloween fans, but for everybody else, there'll probably be some Watch Mojo. 10 things you didn't know about Scream.
Yeah.
The swell of Marco Beltrami's score at the end of the opening, building. Dun, dun. Hi, Dewey. It's Deputy Riley today, said. How do you feel about David Arquette in this film? Because I don't want you coming for David Arquette. I'm sorry.
No, I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank God. I thank God.
But
no.
No, I'll talk about it in What's the Change. That's definitely a What's the Change thing. I'm going to restrict myself.
Oh, your big thing that you feel about Dewey.
It's about Dewey.
I think I know this, don't I? Your big, what you want.
We'll get to it.
Okay, John. Okay. It's insulting. I know I've said that so many times already. Jesus, my name's not Jesus. Very funny.
That's great. Yes, I do love. Move your fat tub of lard ass.
Also, very well known that Connie wanted to play, as she sort of said, more of a bitch role. You know, she wanted Friends is still going at this time, yeah. And she wanted to, obviously break out and show range, and she does. I would say that Monica has moments of being a bit Gale-like, as a matter of fact. Which friend are you? Don't be insulted that I asked. Just answer the question.
I'm a mix.
Phoebe's mother of Terry Carr. Who am I? And don't you dare. No, I am Chandler, and just admit it.
You
just admit it. It's fine. You can admit it.
I'm going the dreaded one.
Oh, this is unbelievable. You can't even. Oh,
no. Okay,
you don't believe this, surely. Surely not.
I think you are half and half.
Of, please say Chandler and Ross. No, Chandler and Joey.
Yes, Ross. I'm half and half. Well, no, I'd say 60-40 Monica and Rachel.
Yeah, definitely. 70-30. What did Mum tell you? When I wear this badge, I'm a man of the law. I feel, it kind of feels
I do love, yes, Doofus. I do like, the janitor is your superior.
I think it can be underestimated how much I love Gale and Dewey. And obviously, I think that's another reason I love Scream 2, because we get more of that romance. And
do you want to know my really specific favorite part of the film?
Oh, I think is it. I have two. Go on.
No, what? Two that you think are mine?
I'll set you up. Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Oh, okay. I have that one my whole life. Oh, but I also, is it another one of my favorite moments?
No, it won't be one of yours.
Okay, what's yours then?
The making out to Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, I know this. Yes, yes, you have told me this so many goddamn times.
But yes, I love, more cowbell. Yes.
I was going to say, how on earth could you get even remotely aroused without thinking of Will Ferrell? Ding, 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 ding.
Because I did not I did not take that because it's obviously it's a very obvious cover of Deck the Reaper.
Yeah.
But it's just so subtle, and then
It
obviously
removes the cowbell.
You know he's the Reaper, and oh my god, it's mwah. Yeah. So I do. Yeah, it's a good scene.
It's good scene. I love.
And just yeah, he's a psycho, but just climbing in the window, just I'm a sucker for old school romance.
Billy Loomis, Skeet Ulrich. What else has Skeet Ulrich been in? Skeet.
The Scream 20-year anniversary special.
Oh no, I don't want you. Don't look on your IMDb.
No, wasn't he in As Good as It Gets?
Yeah, he's the gay basher. Yeah. What else?
Don't like As Good as It Gets.
Oh God. He was in The Magic of Ordinary Days. Pregnant out of wedlock, an educated young woman, Carrie Russell, is pressured by her father into an arranged marriage with a lonely farmer in this drama set during World War II. Oh, why don't you watch that? That might fulfill some of your Skeet. Yes, he played Vincent in As Good as It Gets.
I don't think it's a Skeet thing. I think it's a Billy Loomis thing, which is something that I have to reason with.
Oh my God. The previous movie he was in was the Kevin Spacey directorial debut, Albino Alligator, starring Matt Dillon, Faye Dunaway, and Gary Sinise.
Oh my God.
Should I watch this? The answer is yes, but is that the only thing Spacey directed? Producer, actor. He's not been in anything in 5 years. That's weird. He's just like not been in anything. That's bizarre.
Right, back on track.
Apparently he's in Riverdale as well. Other weirdly specific favorite parts of the film. I'll send you a copy. Bam. I don't enjoy then Tatum. Bam. Why does she have that huge teddy bear?
And why does she have 2 single beds in her own bedroom?
I never even thought of that. It's like Lucy and Desi's bedroom. Like
I do love them arriving at the party, and with all the drinks and I just love teenage parties.
I love Dewey. Hello. Put the phone down. I could actually save an innocent man. Do you know what that could do for my book sales? I love Gail so much. But right, obviously the answer's Sydney. Who is your favorite secondary character?
Secondary?
Like, I was going to say who's your favorite character, but obviously it's Sydney.
Yes.
Again, I'm being coloured by 4 sequels, so this isn't unfair. In this movie, I'd probably say Gail. And then come Scream 2, Scream 3. Scream 3 is the worst of the 5 films, but has the single best ending. It has such a beautiful, beautiful ending. It's incredible. Anyway, the car slam on the red right-hand bell is I don't want to be crude, orgasmically edited. It's just incredible. First time for everything. Then cut straight to Billy and Sydney about show their first time. I noticed that this time. I thought that was maybe a bit of a cheeky little edit. Hey, do you want me to, again, kind of cute in the rules thing, never say I'll be right back. And then you're so stupid. Stu is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a beer. And you're just like, okay. And you're so stupid because you know exactly what he's gonna say, and then I'll be right back. Brilliant stuff. Camera delay Warren death. I should have put Kenny. I do just call him Warren. I just don't. Maybe it's because his name is W.G.L. Brown or whatever. It's like, what a name. I just love that they just reuse the Halloween score. Fuck you both. That moment's great. And a couple of lines from the final. Your mother was no Sharon Stone. I love when Billy throws the phone at Stu and you fucking hit me with the phone.
With a fucking phone.
dick.
I think that's my favourite line.
And then obviously, my mum and dad are gonna be so mad at me. It's not really a Thomas Big question. I think it's fairly obvious. Billy is trying to kill Stu, isn't he?
What, by stabbing him?
Yeah, and he's going to be the sole survivor. He just hasn't told him that.
I've never thought about that.
Because he stabs him a lot. Oh, go on.
But obviously he was not anticipating Sydney to outsmart them. And that starts with her when they turn second and she's gone. So then when he's like, you bitch, and he's like, oh, you know, where are you? And then that's completely turned on its head. So, you know, the fact that Stu is completely incapacitated from the stabs when he's laying on the desk, and Billy, because obviously he is the smarter of the two, he's the mastermind. And then when he puts the phone over Stu's neck in his ear,
keep her on the phone.
That's a last minute ditch effort because he knows the cops are on the way because Sydney's just told him. That is a last ditch effort. He knows Stu's out of the count, so at the very least, framing Stu, draping the phone over him. But no, as far as what his plan was, if Sydney would have just been killed and all of that, whether Billy was planning to stick to the plan of, you know, except Billy and me, we're left for dead and we just get to carry on, or if he was going to do, you know, a Joker in the opening of Dark Knight and, you know, pop them all off after
they say he wears clown makeup. 7 shares. You think he's going to do this whole thing and get his third share?
I need to watch Dark Knight again. Have you seen Batman?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I presume you've read my review. It's fine. It's not the Dark Knight.
Okay.
I did myself a disservice because in the ending of the Batman, or at least one of them, it was okay ending, and the big action scene. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then I remembered, give him 5 minutes, and Batman jumping off and going into when they realize the clowns are the doctors and the doctors are the clowns, and it's like, and then the dum dun dun dun, and I was just like, oh, sorry, oh, I've remembered now what a good exciting action scene is, and I did myself a disservice. Okay. And then earlier on, I thought about Lau. I've taken all your money. I've put it in a disclosed bank account.
Just accidentally wasting your time.
I will feed you to my dogs.
My dogs
are hungry. You're lucky. You're lucky. He's not. Oh, what a great film. What a great film. Anyway, we've still not done the Dark Knight, actually. What else is there? What else? Oh, your other weirdly specific.
Back on track.
Sorry? Yeah, weirdly
Back
specific. Yes, your weirdly specific favorite parts of the film.
Yeah, I've already said the making out to Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
Next question.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Best single minute. My first nomination is the principal's office. The weird setting up of Winkler, of like, it's okay, Sydney, and he strokes her cheek, and it's like, and then it's cut straight to, your principal loves you. And I think for that moment, it's like, ooh, are they trying to set up Winkler? I mean, we'll get to my second single minute, which definitely tries to set up Winkler. Gale at the hospital punch, excellent. And then Winkler, you havoc-inducing, thieving, whoring generation. No, fair would be to cut your insides out. Oh, I've just gotten rid of it. Oh no, my other nomination, Gale and Dewey. Oh, the first Gale and Dewey flirtation. I did get you then. 25, Gale, Miss Weathers. I was 24 for a whole year. I think people like to rip into this relationship and this flirtation, but I think that in that scene, because they talk about Gale just being so doofus-like, but I think in that scene he's quite good flirting. Dewey. He's like, I was 24 for a whole year. It's a good flirtatious line, and I can see that maybe she'd be like into it, maybe in that sort of folksy way of like, oh, big city girl in a small town of Woodsboro. Don't know what that impression was. Dewey bringing, oh, I love this. This is genuinely one of my favorite moments. Dewey bringing Gale to the party. You're underage, son. Just kidding. She's with me. I really, really enjoy that moment. The rules, and then Gail's final report when the Moby song's playing. And it was the 90s, so you've got to end with a Moby song. Heat ends with a Moby song. Born Identity ends with a Moby song. Love Moby. Why does my heart feel so bad? Best single minute nominations, Ava.
Yeah, I think it was, you covered all of them. I don't think I do like the van at the end.
Yeah.
I think I like the Sydney chase after she falls out the window. Oh, but then the wiping of the blood off the knife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because once she's outside, oh, the car. When she's in the police car.
Yeah.
And that for me is probably the most, with the exception of Casey Becker's opening, I think that is the most
tension-inducing.
Tension-inducing suspense
Moment.
for me.
No,
Yeah.
it's excellent. It's absolutely excellent. Which brings us to what best line?
Oh
no, sorry.
Oh, but then the surprise, Sydney.
Surprise, Sydney. He does a good job. Lillard does a good job getting close to the Roger Jackson voice. Bill Skeet doesn't even try. But the surprise, Sydney, is good. He gets close to Roger Jackson. Soundtrack corner, right. Clear the floor.
Don't feel the Reaper.
Yes, Don't Through the Reaper is very good.
Come on.
Nothing annoys me more in this fucking world.
That's the Peaky Blinders song.
Nothing drives me more mad. It really annoys me. Scream owns Red Right Hand. It deeply annoys me. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3. It becomes the soundtrack for the series. And fucking Peaky Blinders. I play it at the Alma, I play it at my pub, and people immediately, oh yeah, Tommy Shelby. People, how annoyed do it is my most annoying, it is my genuinely my biggest point of annoyance in the world, is that world hunger's bad, but like
what?
I said world hunger's bad, but this is also annoying. But you are like a goddamn love triangle because you also love Peaky Blinders. And you've been very aloof with me when I bring this up to you. I don't think you've ever given me a direct answer.
Am I ever anything less?
You're going to give me a direct answer right now on this podcast series. What is your favorite? Is Peaky Blinders? Who owns Red Right Hand? Is it the Scream series?
I think it was taken from Scream.
That is I want to die. I hate. It's just.
I'm not saying it's rightfully done, but I think, Tom, you need to face reality, and that the vast majority of people who know that song know it from Peaky Blinders.
No, I know. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional.
Saying that's right. Because don't forget, Red Right Hand is just that one scene in Scream 1.
And Scream 2. And Scream. This is why you have this opinion. And it also has an incredible needle drop in Scream 2022. Oh.
Okay, don't spoil it.
I'm not going to, but it has another great needle drop, like with another cued to the bell. Okay. I'm sorry. I will die on this hill for the rest of my life. I get so annoying when people say it, and I go, oh, sorry. When did I forget? When did Peaky Blinders start? like 2011. And then I go, when did that first Scream movie come out? I get so annoying. When people call me an annoying movie person, it's not true. It is when I talk about Red Right-Handed Scream. All I remember, right, Tarantino on the Pulp Fiction CD has an interview where he talks about being annoyed that Be My Baby used Dirty Dancing. All the way around. The Dirty Dancing used Be My Baby. And he's like, no, man, because when I hear Be My Baby, I'm thinking of Harvey Keitel in Mean Streets. That's the opening. That's what I hear. That's what I see. But then Dirty Dancing takes it. And certain songs, a movie, you own that song. You own that song. That's how I feel about Red Right Hand. Have you listened to the Arctic Monkeys? Oh, do you like the Arctic Monkeys, Ava?
Yeah.
Have you listened to the Arctic Monkeys cover of Red Right Hand?
No.
It's not really, I mean, it is a cover, obviously, but they don't change it at all, but it's good, it's good. Supersonic rock and roll, riding around the streets of Sheffield in the rain, wanna go for a ride on my jet. It's a good impression, isn't it? I can't tell if you're frozen or it's just your demeanor. What's frozen? Your screen or your demeanor? That's good. That's a good line. What's next? Best line. You start us off.
Fucking hit me with the phone.
No, Sid. Now don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Yeah.
Else?
Well,
Big no. Big no.
Yes, yes. My name isn't Jesus.
I love My Name Isn't. It's because it's so weirdly delivered. Not weirdly delivered, but perfectly delivered. I love We All Go a Little Mad Sometimes, which I can only guess is where you find him even sexier. Everybody's a suspect. If they'd watch Prom Night, they would be fine. There's a formula to it, a very simple formula. Cheerleader in the bathroom. Here's some real dialogue. The girl has some serious issues.
I know.
Maybe she had the hots for Steve and killed them both in a jealous rage. Maybe she's a
Why
slut.
did she go for Steve? She's got her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy. Maybe she's a slut, just like her mother.
Cut some slack.
Like,
she watched her mum get butchered and it fucked her up royally. Think about it. Her mother's death leaves her disturbed and hostile in a cruel and inhumane world. She's delusional.
Delusional.
Where's God, etc. Completely suicidal. One day I can't even read. One day she snaps. She wants to kill herself, but she realized teen suicide is out this year.
And homicide is a much healthier therapeutic
technique. Oh, wonderful. She deserves, sorry, I take it back. Drew doesn't get my Best Supporting Actress nomination. She does. Woman in the bathroom, woman in the bathroom. Where are we next? What's the change? Do you have any?
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. I've got quite a few, actually. Okay.
I think they should have stuck to their original plan and called it Scary Movie.
Me too. High five.
Wait, do it now.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree.
Yes. But obviously they lost that right when Scary Movie wanted to parody it. So yeah. This is my thing. And yes, has my opinion of Dewey been coloured by Doofy? Yes. But after watching Scary Movie, I think that Dewey as the killer makes sense, and it is everything you see. It's not just, you know, the route they decided to go with Scary Movie. Watching it, the way he is with Sid, yes, they play it up in Scary Movie with him being like, bye Sid, but when it's true, when she gets that second phone call, when she's at the house, she's banging on his door, the mom is like, Dewey, come help. Literally the second he hangs up, he comes out the bedroom, all like, he could have literally made that call. The fact that he is younger, he's with Sid all the time, and yes, they play up the creepiness of like, okay, don't go too far. He's at the house. I think when you go back and watch Scream, they haven't yes, they played it up, but they haven't fabricated everything. It is completely viable for him to be the killer. when he's at the house and he holds the mask and he's like, ah, I found this. Like, it makes complete sense. I'm not saying it would have been better or more satisfactory as opposed to Dewey rather than Stu and Billy, but I think it makes complete sense. So that's my question. Should Dewey have been the killer? And you're going to say no.
I'm going to say no because I love Dewey, and
yeah, exactly.
He grows to be a sort of, like, I think there was a lot of flirtation when Scream 22 came out. This isn't really a spoiler, but Sidney, Gale, and Dewey aren't the killer in Scream 2022.
Okay.
And I think that was your first question to me, wasn't it? It was like, is Dewey the killer? You've been rooting for this for every sequel
like
ever.
One.
Yeah. But I think they have become a shining goodness and a shining core. And in the rest of this manic world, they are the good and they are the core. And I agree with you. If this was the ending of this first film, and it is like, that's the joke at the end of Scary Movie, is that that it becomes Usual Suspects, doesn't it? And it would the whole time, and he stops limping and he takes off his jacket and he puts on the Kevin Spacey outfit, which I can only guess is another arousing moment for you, because that fits your type. No, Doofy as Kevin Spacey fits your type. You can admit it. Even though it's the weird, imagine a dinner party conversation. Who's your hall pass? Channing Tatum, Ryan Gosling. Did you ever watch Scary Movie? Yeah, I think so. You know when Doofy dresses as Kevin Spacey from The Usual Suspects? Oh my God. Be still my heart, Doofy.
Oh my God, man.
No, I agree with you. It'd have been a good twist for this first film. However, we are so past that.
Exactly. The lineage would not have existed if that was the route they'd gone.
I agree. I have more pernickety deaths. I think Steve's death is kind of butchered, the way it's edited, and it's
literally
weird. Yeah, it's like weirdly shot, and I know why it's weirdly shot, because they had to cut it down from an hour and blah blah blah. But yeah. He did a very good job of quickly hanging up Casey. And did he already have that noose ready? A couple of... Oh, go on.
Well, no, but that's the thing. And I actually watched, it wasn't Watch Mojo, but it was a video on YouTube, and it literally broke down out of every appearance of Ghostface and every death, who was on the phone, who was the killer in terms of Billy and Stu.
Yeah.
I was going to say Bill and Stewie.
I want to kill.
And it does make sense, and it is pretty much, yes, obviously it's never been proved, but they do break it down very, very analytically, and it's more often than not, Billy is the one on the phone, Stu is the physical killer. Yeah. Except like a few things. I think that Billy is the one to kill Casey. They like worked that out, and they literally drew a map like of each location of like when Casey is on the phone looking out at the pool, then the other one, is coming around here, or when Sydney goes out on her porch and, causes bluff, where are they, and then they hide in the closet, and it's literally like a fucking map of each location, giving them the exact time for them to, execute their plan. So, I can't remember, but no, that was what were we talking about? But
I was talking about
because it is a joint effort, and obviously, yes, that's the twist, because you can't have someone on the phone, laying this groundwork when we know now, because we know how each kill happens. If we look at Casey, we know that, and with her death especially, they wouldn't have had the time to hang her up on there, and that's not a one-man job for like an 18-year-old teenager to literally lift her body up onto a very high-hanging branch with her intestines acting as a noose.
Well, we didn't talk about this in Halloween, but a 6-year-old killing a grown woman. She just doesn't go, Michael. I put here the PG-13 relationship banter. I'm sorry, Ava. I don't care how sexy Skeet Ulrich is. I would be dry as a goddamn desert. peach. I want a peach. I was thinking.
No,
I
she
watched.
says
I
peachy
know.
knuckles.
But the entire banter. I was watching The Exorcist, and it was edited for TV,
And it made me think of you.
and it made me think of you, Ava. I don't want to shame your crushes, but what the heck? How is this sexy? How is this sexy banter? I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear rule. How is that a real thing somebody says to somebody?
Yeah, but I just overlook all of that. You have to overlook things in a relationship.
You just have to keep going. No. Some of the teenage banter, fuck rag, goon fuck. What are these nicknames?
I love that. I love that though, because that's how I talk.
That's it, yeah. I love the line, and it's not really a change because it's accurate for 1996. What are you doing with a cellular telephone, kid? Everybody's got one.
Everybody's got one, Sheriff.
Here's a great line. Here's another great.
Is it's not. Is it a change? But is it necessary? Necessary.
Necessary? Is it necessary to drink my own urine? No, but I like it because it's sterile. I like the taste. You're as useless as a cock-flavored lollipop.
Right. Is it necessary that Billy reveals, unbeknownst to everyone, including Stu, his supposed partner in crime, that his real motive is that Billy's father was sleeping with Sydney's mother? Is that necessary?
Yes, the daddy issues, the mummy issues, and it fuels us for Scream 2. Sorry. And it gives Sydney some leverage. Your mummy's boy. And also, what's the first movie we hear Billy quoting? Psycho. Mummy's boy. He's Norman. You know, and I love all that. And again, you're talking about the horror lineage. It's all about the mother. It's all about Norma Bates, and it's all about Mrs. Voorhees. I would say yes. Because I also, as you've talked about, I love the look of surprise on Stu's face.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, is what? I love it all. I also love the commitment to the bit. Like, you know, got to take planning. Again, it's like Seven when Morgan Freeman finds the Polaroids of the sloth guy, and it's like, this man was meticulous and it took his time. Other changes. Here's another real great Billy quote from your dreamboat. I have a girlfriend who would rather have accused me of being a psychopathic killer rather than touch me. Here's a real one. This is my biggest one when it comes to Billy. How the hell is this doing it for you, Ava? You haven't been the same since your mother died. And then he keeps going, it's been a year. I think it's time you get over that. You know, when my mother left me, and then Sydney has to, with a straight face, go, it's different, Billy. Your mother divorced your dad. She wasn't raped and killed. Sorry, Ava. Sorry to bring it down. I don't actually like Wes as Fred the janitor. I think it's far too on the nose. He's dressed as Freddy Krueger.
I know.
And he's called Fred. I think it's too I think it's a little bit cringy and a little bit on the nose.
Okay.
Sorry. Everybody's a suspect, and the entire store just like in Doctor Who or something when everybody's possessed and everybody turns. Ghostface in the convenience store. What the fuck is he doing there, and why does nobody see him?
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
Terrible. And also, why is he in the bush? Again, nice little scare, but why? Oh my God, here we go. Talk about gas. It's not necessarily gaslighting, but like, I'm the one. He gets Sydney to a point where she says, "I'm the one who's been selfish and self-obsessed with all this post-traumatic stress."
Yeah, that's a fault.
What an incredible line. With all this post-traumatic stress.
Do you know what makes me cringe? Do you know what makes me cringe?
Go on.
When she's like, why can't I be a Meg Ryan movie or a good porno? I'm like,
and
then
he goes, what?
I know.
Really?
Could you? Yeah. Don't like that.
No.
Like, and I get it's just an extension of the banter, the PG-13 relationship, which has come from her. She says PG-13, all of that stuff.
I know.
But to me, I'm like,
But she's only fulfilling.
No.
But she's only fulfilling what he said. We're on our way to an R rating. We were on a good roll.
No, what he says, I can literally remember it. Not that I've listened to it more than other scenes in Scream. He says, it got me thinking of us. How 2 years ago we started out hot and heavy, a nice solid R rating on our way to an NC-17, and lately things have changed, and we've just been sort of like edited for television. And she says, oh, what? So you thought you'd climb in here and have a little rough footage? And he's like, no, I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear. And then he's like, oh, on top of the clothes stuff, and then blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And would she still say Meg Ryan? This is 96.
Maybe Dewey put it. I like that Dewey says it because Dewey's
I see
me.
you as a young Meg Ryan myself, yeah.
Yeah, because Dewey would say that because Dewey's great. Yeah, I don't know. What would she say? She can't say Drew Barrymore.
No.
She can't say really Julia. Can she say Julia Roberts?
It's not the tone.
I think Meg Ryan in 96 is still Meg Ryan is this lovely, perfect lady who does these rom-coms. Even if it's the tail end of those.
Yeah. We all know
Jane,
how much we love You've Got Mail.
She's the best part in You've Got Mail.
Anyway.
She's the absolutely best part of You've Got Mail. The blood is all wrong when they're watching the Bob death scene. There's no blood in the Halloween death scene, so it doesn't make any sense. All the kids shooting off to look at a dead Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
What the hell? And also, I don't
because they all hate him. Those are the same two guys that he cut in his office a few hours earlier.
I hate many people, but I wouldn't want to rush to their dead
Yeah, but
corpse.
they're all drunk, dumb, raging teenagers.
Okay.
Who want to go for a joyride.
Yeah. This is a piece of factual facts that I don't understand, because lots of people report that they added the Henry Winkler scene because there wasn't any kills since Drew Barrymore and there needed to be a kill in there. But that works so well plot-wise to get everybody else out of the house. So I don't know on that one who to believe. Why on earth does Sydney put the mask and outfit on for the umbrella stab?
Don't know.
Yeah. Sydney's sitcom reaction to her dad coming out of the closet. Dad.
Disney Channel acting school.
The funeral's Monday. I told this. I told you this obviously, but I had a funeral recently, and it was on a Monday. And people would ask, "When's the funeral?" And every single time, all I could see was Keena Thompson flying across my mind. Any other changes? I know you had those two big ones. Have you got any other pernickety ones, or so that's anything?
No.
No. Yeah. What's left from the guest notes? Anything?
Just the question of what is the best kill, which I'm sure you were going to ask.
Got to be Casey.
I think it gets points because I think it was definitely Watch Mojo, and maybe it wasn't just Scream. It was inventive horror kills, and one of them was Tatum, surprisingly, in the garage because
we've not even talked about that at all, have we?
No, because she puts up a fight and.
She puts up a fight, but then also
But no.
So
that
obvious.
is fucking dumb. It's dumb as hell. If she climbed through that thing, that garage door would not be able to lift her weight. It would not. So it's completely false.
For me, the problem is that her hand, she's so clearly had to wrap her arm. She's only put one arm through, hasn't she? And she's her other arm is banging. It's so obvious that she's been positioned.
And so obviously, so first of all, it wouldn't even exist because the garage door wouldn't lift her. But even if it did, then all you do, you just pop yourself out and then fucking run away because he's just stood there at the door with the lever So that I think that's that is a bad kill. It detracts from the it's inventive. And yeah, she puts up a fight, which is good, but it's just completely dumbfounded.
That's another thing when it comes to like Scream as a franchise, and I think it also is Halloween as well, is that I always say that like Nightmare's probably the best franchise because it could be, you've got endless possibilities with Freddy Krueger, whereas Scream and Halloween, you've just got knives, really. I mean, Stu is still the only villain, spoilers, is still the only villain in all 5 movies. Oh no, that's a lie. Scream 4 has. Any final words? Clear. Anyway, don't want to ruin that. Anyway, a few fun facts. Again, this is one of those movies where everything's sort of been reported and all that sort of thing. The party scene near the end runs for 42 minutes. It's shot over the course of 21 days, the time the sun set to the time it rose. After it wrapped, the crew had t-shirts made that read, "I survived scene 118, which was the name of the scene during shooting. The cast and crew jokingly called it the longest night in horror history. Neither Nev Campbell or Drew Barrymore met Roger Jackson. The high school scenes were to be shot at Santa Rosa High School in California. However, very close to the shooting date, the school board read the script and denied the film to be shot there due to the violent nature, as they had been under the impression the film was a comedy, and production was moved to Healdsburg, California. As payback, director Wes Craven put in the end credits under the special thanks, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City School District Governing Board." I love Wes Craven as just a bitchy guy. Matthew Lillard was cast after accompanying his then girlfriend to a casting call. Casting director Lisa Beach saw Lillard in the hallway and asked him to audition for the part. He got into the role with incredible ferocity. Courtney Crocs, we talked about this. She wanted to quote unquote play a bitch. The film was released 5 days before Christmas. The studio did this because during the holiday season, they wanted to do some like counter marketing. And to begin with, it opened at number 4 with 6.4 million, which led the studio to believe the movie had flopped. And then week by week, it built and built and built and built and built. This was a real word of mouth thing. So basically, when he sold the script for Scream, Kevin Williamson also attached a 5-page treatment for Scream 2, an ingenious little deal that obviously is all we do nowadays. You don't make a movie, you haul yourself out. Anyway, are you ready for this one? I don't know whether this is going to blow your mind or not. Being a favorite of screenwriter Kevin Williamson, Molly Ringwald was offered the role of Sidney Prescott.
Ooh.
But turned it down, saying she'd rather not be playing a high school student at the age of 27. For me, that doesn't work at all.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. This is kind of what you were talking about with the breaking it down. Some people have broken it down. So Maureen Prescott, both Billy and Stu killer. Stephen Orth, Stu killed him as he was hiding in the backyard while Billy was out front, calling Casey and harassing her. Casey, the fact that Casey recognized Stu upon unmasking him, and it's later confirmed that Stu and Casey used to date, confirms it was him who killed her. Arthur him. Yeah, I don't know about this.
See, they broke it down, and even though they think Stu does most of the killing, apparently they said that Billy is the one that stabbed Casey because of their stabbing style. So when it's Sydney's first attack in the house, you know, when he's on top of her and he like presses her cheek with the knife. Oh no, so apparently Stu does the 2-hand above the head and Billy just does 1. And they validate that. But obviously there is no way of knowing.
Yeah, I don't know why. Right. In all the years of interviews since, if Kevin Williamson penciled out who killed who, then we'd know by now. We would definitely know by now, which leads me to believe that Kevin Williamson didn't do that.
No, I agree.
I wonder, like, when people write new Halloween scripts, new Scream scripts, like whether they do pencil out who killed who. I guess the bigger the cast, you have to kind of figure it out, or else people will call bullshit.
Yeah.
But who knows? Next up, so we don't need to break that down really, because you know, everybody has different opinions. Tagline rundown. Someone is playing a deadly game. Someone who has seen too many scary movies. Yeah, fine. Name the killer. December the 20th.
That's inventive.
Yeah. He's taken his love of fear one step too far.
No.
No. Solving this mystery is going to be murder.
No.
No. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to escape.
Yes. That's what's on my special edition.
But also, don't try to escape. That's bad advice. Do try to escape.
No, but that's the whole thing. Like you trying to escape is part of their plan. So
Samuels calls fate the distinction between two people. Someone has taken their love of scary movies one step too far. Solving this mystery is going to be murders, because that's the combination of two. Make your last breath count.
No.
From the first name in suspense comes the last word in fear.
No.
Weirdly phrased thing. Now someone is victim and someone is a suspect. Yeah,
No.
bad again. Don't answer the door. Yeah. Don't answer the phone. Don't leave the house. But most of all, don't scream.
No.
Yeah.
That's just clutching at straws.
Yeah. Will no. Oh my God. Nothing got me more excited for Scream 2022 than that poster with the killer is on this poster. That is the most ingenious piece of marketing I've seen in a very, very, very long time. A few fun, Tom's big question. Here's a couple. I've put here, is Randy a fun character? We've already litigated that. Right, can we talk about this? Oh, I've put here bathroom Ghostface and bathroom bitches. We've already talked about the bathroom bitches.
Yeah.
Bathroom Ghostface, what's happening there? Is that just another prank?
It's a prank.
It's another prank, yeah. We've litigated this when we watched it on Zoom. A big party is actually a really good idea.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No. Because in how it should have ended, you know, the cartoon.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
It was like cut to some random teenager at home eating dinner that night. He's like, Mom, there's a party tonight. She's like, no, stupid child. There's a killer on the loose. We're not going to let you go to a house with no adults, unaccompanied, unsupervised. Like, duh.
No, if everybody is in one room,
No,
nobody's going to die.
That's what your private houses are for, with your parents. Not some random country house out in the middle of nowhere.
A killer can't kill 30 people in one room.
Cut to
okay. Many dark examples. Michael with the chainsaw.
You
Michael...
have to cut to that in the editing.
I'm not going to cut to that, but they don't give me those eyes. Everybody, don't give me those eyes. Everybody watched that Halloween Kills trailer for a year and a half. We all know what happens. Can we talk about this? Gail was completely right about Cotton the entire time. Sydney, I know she's traumatized. Sydney is a bad. Sydney nearly put a man to death who just wanted to get his rocks off with some randy mother. Sydney nearly killed a man. Gail is a really good journalist.
Okay.
You do agree with me on this, surely?
No, I do, of course. So I agree that Gail is a good journalist, but also I'm not entirely blaming Sydney, because it was made so, it was all Billy and Stu's plan. They made it so that she saw that coat, and it was not as if she was like, yeah, might be him. Like, it was there that she was led to believe that it was him. And when you're that traumatized, she couldn't fathom anything else.
Of course.
And they framed him so perfectly.
It was easy enough to frame Carton.
Tell that to Carton, really.
I love you've not watched Scream 3. In Scream 3 he has a talk show and it's called 100% Cotton. It's really good. It's really good. I don't know, but it's going to make one hell of a movie. I love Scream 2. Watching Scream, I immediately was like, oh, I just want to watch Scream 2. Sorry,
Okay.
Ava.
What
This
else
it.
is there, or is that it?
That's it. Don't be like that. That's
I'm
it.
hungry, and I can't talk about Scream 2 anymore.
I know. Any final thoughts on Scream? It's a perfect film, I really, even though that it was just planned like this because of scheduling, Halloween into Scream is a perfect double bill.
And I think Scream is a perfect subversion of the norms and cliches and archetypes of that certain genre, and it is just a wonderful subversion, reinvention of it. And at that time, that is the refreshment that that genre needed, and it sustained it for the next good decade.
Indeed. And then obviously, just like there were 10 years of terrible slashers by the end of the 80s, there was so many terrible, oh my God, this is just like, winking and nudging and all that bullshit. It happens every time we've watched your movies. Silence of the Lambs is a perfect film. You've got 10 years of terrible 90s serial killer thrillers. It happens. Ava, it was a pleasure. I don't know when you'll be back, but you'll be back undoubtedly at some point in the future. It's been a pleasure. Happy Halloween!
Is this coming out on Halloween?
This is coming out because everything's changed because of my job. Halloween comes out 22nd of September.
That's my dad's birthday.
What better way to celebrate? You can all sit around and watch the Halloween episode. This comes out the 10th of November.
Okay. So literally
straddling. Don't be angry.
I'm not angry.
You're angry. I said my favorite Halloween quote to end Halloween. You say your favorite Scream quote to end Scream.
It's fucking hit me with the phone.
Da ba da ba da ba da.